Finally, we can all agree that Apple is better than Windows and Linux. At a time where Microsoft is reversing its decision to disable macros and Linux is under siege from malware strains like Symbiote, Apple is working to improve the security for its customers. Recently, Apple debuted the lockdown mode feature. This is a feature for Apple devices, which include Mac, iPad, and iPhones, which locks down the security features on a device. And we're gonna list all of those lockdown features here in just a moment, but we're gonna talk about what it's designed to accomplish, the features that specifically that it's targeting, as well as the users that this is being rolled out for specifically. As some background, mobile device security has been a topic of contention amongst a number of privacy experts and cybersecurity researchers for a long time at least. With spyware like Pegasus being out, where basically authoritarian governments like China or Saudi Arabia are able to target individuals of interest, from politicians to journalists and other notable individuals, using that malware which targets devices like a cell phone. Mobile device security has certainly come under a microscope. After all, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Your mobile phone has everything from your texts, your calls, your emails, your FaceTimes, your internet browsing, your social media usage, and other types of activity that you do online, which really it all is quite a lot of information about you and gives quite an intimate amount of information. Literally, your location at any given point can be taken. That said, this kind of spying is done on a very specific group of individuals. Again, it typically includes politicians, journalists, and other notable individuals in countries that are a bit more authoritarian or really don't have any troubles or qualms violating the privacy of individuals. Countries, again, like Saudi Arabia or China, among others. That said, Apple is not taking this problem laying down, and that's where the lockdown mode comes into play. This will be a part of iOS 16, which will be out shortly. It should be out by the end of 2022, and this feature is incredibly easy to toggle on and off. You literally go to Settings, Privacy and Security, Lockdown mode, and then you can toggle it on and off, just like a bunch of other features in the Settings tab. So what exactly does lockdown mode do, and how does it lock your phone down? To name just some of the features, most message attachments, not including images, are blocked. That includes things like previewing links in a message. That is also disabled. Web technologies like JavaScript are disabled. However, you can exclude different features in the lockdown mode settings. Incoming invitations or service requests, thinking like something like FaceTime calls, are blocked automatically from destinations that you have not previously had contact with. All shared photo and video albums are removed, and invitations to share an album are blocked. Wired connections from your device are also disabled. Configuration profiles similar to Apple's beta program are disabled, and your device cannot enroll in mobile device management. Now, these features are nice. However, do note that you will be sacrificing a lot of convenience in order to implement these features. That being said, if you are one of the individuals that's particularly vulnerable to spying, then you'll probably be able to rest easy knowing that though your convenience is being sacrificed, your privacy is being escalated. It's also not yet known if you will be able to whitelist specific addresses or destinations for some of these features, or if you'll be able to kind of pick and choose, whether you want to allow shared photo and video albums, but you want to disable all web technologies, or, more granular control that you'll be able to have over this program. Another note that I want to make is that this feature really seems to be targeted at preventing additional malware from being installed on your device. Meaning, if you believe you already have malware installed, then this probably won't be able to protect you from what's already present on your machine. Instead, if you suspect that you have already been compromised, then you might have to completely factory reset your device and then go back to a previous backup image from before you receive that malware. However, as far as detecting where the malware is installed, you're not really able to go in and check, at ease at least, if you have any unwanted programs that are running or any unwanted connections. And having said that, if you are aware of a way to do that, do let me know down in the comments, because that might actually be worth its own video. Now, this wasn't the only cool security update from Apple in recent weeks. They also talked about how they're implementing FIDO authentication technology in the near future, again, by the end of this year. Now, this is something that we've also talked about on this channel already, so if you're not familiar about that, then wait to the end of this video and we're gonna go into a little bit more detail. One of the other things that they announced, though, is a bug bounty program. They've basically budgeted up to $10 million in grants for bug bounty hunters that are willing to basically audit and check for bugs or vulnerabilities within the lockdown mode feature. This is a cool way for cybersecurity researchers and bug bounty hunters to be able to make some extra coin and support the mission of improving people's privacy. Now, I do want to make a point here about this feature and about a lot of, the circumstances around this feature, because it is kind of a sensitive and hot topic, especially within the privacy and security world. There are a lot of conspiracy theories that float around as a result of Pegasus and some of the other spyware being used. In fact, you may have come across some of those conspiracy theories online. The threat of this kind of spyware and its abuse are very, very real and do happen, and it's very important to recognize that. However, it's equally important to recognize when the conspiracy theories take a life of their own and start to just spread like wildfire, whenever in fact that theory itself is based on nothing more than hearsay and false reporting. In fact, a lot of those theories tend to come from people with vested interests in spreading a false narrative just to either stoke up fear or to raise the profile of a specific company. So if you happen to see research floating around about any of these products or about any of the malware out there that's related to this topic, be sure to vet where that research is coming from and that it's actually credible research. Because there is a lot of credible research out there. However, there is some non-credible research, in fact, very dubious and false claims that are floating around from people that, if you're not within the security world, you may not really know that they're actually not really a credible source. Now, are any of these features perfect? No. Again, I'd prefer to kind of see a more streamlined way within Apple devices to be able to check for unwanted programs or unwanted connections on your device, whether that's on your Mac, your iPad, or your iPhone. I think it would be great to be able to have a way to be able to kill off those connections and remove unwanted software that could potentially be malicious. If you think with Linux, you have an incredible amount of flexibility to be able to catch those things. However, unfortunately, with especially iPhones, it's pretty difficult to be able to get that level of detail and get that kind of a deep look on your device and what's going on. So I think it would be very beneficial as part of these features to be able to roll out maybe an app or something like that that can be able to investigate your device, look for running processes and ongoing connections, and really be able to manage those on your own. That being said, that is a very niche request that really only security people or IT people in general will probably care about. Your average consumer probably won't even care about a lot of these lockdown features. In fact, if you started alerting the user about unwanted connections or unwanted software, they'd probably just get freaked out and then get alert fatigue and then disable it. So it would really have a counterproductive effect on overall security. And that's why I think that this is a very challenging problem to solve, but I do think ultimately it would be a good thing to have for people that are interested in this, do know what they're looking for, and can manage their device effectively. But all of that being said, it is very nice to see Apple taking these steps forward, implementing something like lockdown mode, implementing something like FIDO authentication, digging into bug bounty hunting programs. It really just kind of shows that they do take privacy and security seriously, and they're willing to put their money where their mouth is. Speaking of something that was previously pretty niche but is now becoming mainstream, here's a video on FIDO authentication, and that is something that you should definitely learn about because it's something that you'll probably be interacting with a lot more in the near future. Be sure to subscribe if you got any value out of this video or if you like this channel. There's a lot more information like this coming out all the time. And be sure to like this video as it helps this video spread to new audiences and raises more awareness about cybersecurity. With all that, I will see you all later. Bye.